To name acids, then, you're going to name it like an ionic compound first. I'm going to give you this. We're just going to start with this. It doesn't really matter what acid we started with, okay? And there are three classes of acids as far as naming is concerned in this class. There's binary acids. There are oxyacids. This is an oxyacid because it contains oxygen. And there are organic acids, okay? And we kind of break organic acids out into the organic section and don't so much include that in the naming acids section, okay? So with this kind of acid, this is an oxyacid. With an oxyacid, once you identify it as an oxyacid, what you're going to do is you're going to drop the hydrogen name in the front. So if you were naming this like an ionic compound, this would be hydrogen phosphate. Okay? To name it like an acid, and that's what it is, we're going to just drop the name hydrogen from the front altogether. Okay, that's going to go away. We're going to change 8 to ic and put the word acid on the end. Okay? Now, the phosphate originally came from a phosphorus and an oxygen. And just for phosphates and sulfur polyatomic ions, you put a syllable or two back on there because it sounds better, okay? Phosphic doesn't sound nearly as good as phosphoric, okay? So this would be phosphoric acid. That's an oxyacid. Then there are binary acids like this. With binary acids, you name it still. You start out like naming it an ionic compound, just like we did before, hydrogen iodide. Okay? But with binary acids, you don't drop the whole hydrogen name. You only drop the gen part of the name. Okay? The ide ending on a binary acid also gets changed to ic, and you put the word acid on here. So this is hydroiodic acid. All right? So that ic ending applies to both binary acids and oxyacids that start out with a polyatomic ion that has an 8 ending. So what about the polyatomic ions that have an ite ending? So let's use this. Let's look at this formula. H3PO3. That's a phosphite ion. Okay? Hydrogen phosphite. Okay? So the only difference between naming this and this up here, you still drop the hydrogen name. Okay? And you're still going to drop the ITE ending, but instead of making it IC, you differentiate between this acid and this one by H get changed to ic, ites get changed to OUS.
What kind of acid is that like?
It's phosphorus acid.
No, like it was like oxyacid and
This is also an oxyacid. Okay? Now, these are the non-organic acids. The organic acids you have to name by figuring out you've got a carboxylic acid. I'm sorry, that's a single bond here. Wait, here, on here. Okay? So this is the carboxylic acid group, or grouping on the end of a carbon chain. The R stands for carbon chain. And when you have one of those, it gets named oic acid. Okay? If I have CH3, then CO2H, that's meth. No, I'm sorry, that's 2 carbons. Ethanoic acid. Now this is F. 2 carbons is F, ethanoic acid. If I do have this, well, that is methanoic acid, 1 carbon in the chain. And this is also called, more commonly, formic acid, and that's what ants sting you with.